With the end of the universe drawing closer as Darkseid is bringing his new thralls to his ultimate destination, Jessica Cruz and a bunch of time-traveling superheroes need to stop him. But how are they going to do that? You have found yourself a Justice League Odyssey right here at the Comicstorian channel, where we take your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites. We then read them dramatically back to you. Today is going to be the finale of the Justice League Odyssey series right here at Comicstorian, and if you want to know what's coming next, please consider sticking around to the end of this video while we talk about the next series that we're going to be covering here on the channel. Now, to catch you up quickly as we are at the finale here, Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz, Cyborg, Azrael, and Starfire were called out into deep space, where they discovered the Ghost Sector, a series of planets that were freed from Brainiac's bottled-up worlds, but they also discovered Darkseid. Darkseid realized that the end of the universe was coming closer with Perpetua and the whole year of the villain thing going on. So in order to prepare himself so that he would not be eradicated, he needed to restore his power. And to do so, he turned Cyborg, Azrael, and Starfire into his thralls, soldiers to spread his message before he killed Jessica Cruz. She was then imbued with the Lantern power and the Omega Beam power, becoming an Omega Lantern, teaming up with a couple other individuals such as Orion, Hax, Gamma Knife, and Dexter the Red Lantern. They then went on a chase to try and find Darkseid, where they ended up running into Epoch, a time-traveling individual whose plan is to alter the timelines and prevent Darkseid from ever doing any of his plans. But their plans to stop Darkseid have been derailed, as 4 individuals have begun attacking them, and Epoch insisted only 3. And at the last moment of our last episode, Azrael had a sword to Epoch's neck, ready to kill him. As Epoch shouts in pleas, Jessica rushes back in, wiping tears from her face, telling him to hang on. No one else needs to die today. She rockets into the chamber of the revision mechanism, knocking Azrael away. She tells Epoch to go, but Azrael stands back up with his sword, telling her, "You are the one who inexplicably survived the judgment of Lord Darkseid. You had the advantage of surprise. You should have made better use of it, delivering a killing stroke." As Azrael swings, Jessica punches him back, stating that she doesn't want to kill him. "Put the sword down and..." But Azrael swings again, telling her, "This is war! There will be no prisoners!" He manages to get a hit in, punching Jessica in the face, so she jumps back, telling him to put the sword down. She already saw one friend die today, and she's not going to see another. After another blow back, Azrael staggers, telling her, "I do not need to use the sword to stop you. I can use my voice. You will submit!" Jessica grabs him by the arm, slamming him into the ground, telling him, "Your voice isn't going to work on me. My ring absorbed Darkseid's power. It made me into a living battery of Omega energy, which also happens to make me immune to your spiritual voice." Jessica strikes him with an Omega Beam blast, but Azrael quickly gets back up. Swinging his sword, he narrowly misses, but Jessica is close, and Azrael uses his other hand to smack her back down. He stands over Jessica with his sword raised, yelling, "Darkseid is! Darkseid is!" But before he could deliver the final attack, Blackfire hits him with the same blast that she used on Starfire to kill her, reducing Azrael to ash. Jessica gets up, shocked, surprised, asking, "Why? Why did you kill him too?" Blackfire pushes her off, telling her that they have become friends. That has value, but it does not grant her permission to touch a Queen of Tamarin. As the others come in, Blackfire goes on, stating that she is too accustomed to the moral comfort of Earth's Justice League. They are very far from the high-minded luxuries of that world. This is an existential war. No place for such whimsical standards of fair play and mercy. She did not enjoy killing her own sister, but Epoch has shown them potential. They can end all threats. They can save Tamarin and the other tortured worlds of the Ghost Sector. Jessica leaves as Hax and Gamma Knife follow, and Gamma says to cheer up. Let's show some Space Ranger pluck and save the old universe. Jessica tells her that she appreciated the effort, but those were her friends. They'd been through a lot, and she swore that no one else would die today. Today. Gamma asks if everything is okay, and Jessica yells, "Today! We couldn't save them today! We couldn't save anything today!" But I'm thinking linearly. We're standing in the middle of a giant temporal manipulation device. We can't save them linearly. If they could use the information containing the Ghost Sector continuity before Darkseid consumed it, they might be able to send a message across time. So as Gamma Knife leaves to retrieve the crystal, Hax gets to work configuring one of Hax's drones so that it may act as a vehicle to get their message across. Gamma comes rushing back stating that she got it. The Ghost Sector, pretty much its entire history, from the point that Brainiac bottled it up to the point where Darkseid turned it into Sepulchre. Hax begins to get things ready, stating that they need a point in time to return to, and Jessica says, after the fall of the Source Wall, when the Justice League destroyed it, failing everyone, summoning Perpetua. They were on a skull ship near Tamarin just before that shockwave hit. Gamma then calls out that the time plume is all set. Let's send out that message. So, back in time, prior to when the heroes were being trapped in the Ghost Sector, Jessica is arguing with Starfire that they have to turn around, that Darkseid is using them. Jessica watches her past self talking to Starfire, but as she tries to talk, no one notices. What is she supposed to do? Hax says that she's working on it. Their organic forms are not receptive to the quantum resonance. They are just not simply equipped to hear or feel a quantum signal. However, she can tune into the machines. Cyborg should be able to hear her. Jessica yells to Cyborg that it's a trap. He's going to ask them to help create something called Sepulchre. He's going to make it sound reasonable. But it's all a lie. They can't trust him. They have to deny Darkseid, because otherwise he will win, he will turn them into thralls, and it will be forever and always. As the connection breaks, Hax asks how did it go, and Jessica sighs, stating that nothing changed. She doesn't think that but at that moment she feels a sharp pain in her head as Cyborg tries to reach out to her. He tells her that it's him, the actual him. He is locked in a prison that he cannot escape, but her words gave him strength. Deny Darkseid, and he's been focusing on those words. He cannot break the grip that Darkseid has on him, but he can at least share his secrets from the inside. Jessica says they will find a way to save him, but Cyborg tells her to forget about him. They don't have any time. Darkseid is coming for Epoch, not only to kill him, but to take the revision mechanism. He's already on his way. They must destroy Epoch's machine. The Lord of Time's scheme is too reckless. His calculations are not precise enough. His errors will annihilate reality. He is no god, but Darkseid is. Destroy the mechanism before Darkseid seizes it, please. As the vision fades, Jessica tells everyone that they have to hurry. There isn't a lot of time, and at that moment there's a loud boom that shakes the entire reef. Gamma asks what the hell was that, and Jessica says that it was a boom tube. A mass displacement boom tube. Darkseid just brought Sepulchre to the reef. Darkseid is here. Just outside, Darkseid tells Cyborg and his new gods to go and retrieve the revision mechanism unscathed. Eliminate anyone and anything that gets in your way. Jessica and the others quickly race back to the chamber to warn everyone of Darkseid's arrival, and Epoch says that they must defend this at all costs. That is why, as reluctant as he is about wasting temporal energy, temporal duplication is called for. Epoch snaps his fingers, creating a recently copied version of himself, as well as a presently copied version of himself. Jessica tells him to hang on. Darkseid isn't here to destroy them. He is here to take the revision mechanism. Blackfire yells that they must help Epoch complete his work. For the sake of Tamarin, for all of the tortured worlds, they must be liberated. Jessica tells her that they can, but they do not need to use the revision mechanism to win. Darkseid wouldn't dare damage Epoch's device. Orion then says that this is where they have a window of opportunity then. They can drop the eschaton on Darkseid, go back to the original plan. And Orion smiles at her, telling her that it will be the greatest pleasure of his life. As the Para-Angels begin to storm the front, Orion and Gamma Knife get to the eschaton, and they get into position to join the others in battle. But through the marches, Darkseid scoffs, stating, "These are just meager defenders protecting Epoch's interests. Advance and annihilate." The recently created Epoch stops a group of Para-Angels laughing, stating that he could trap them in temporal recursions. They will be doomed to repeat until infinity. Darkseid punches the recently created Epoch into the ground, burning him with Omega Blast energy, stating, "I mastered your parlor tricks like time loops when I was an infant." Cyborg then begins to clear out the mechoids that the presently created Epoch is commanding, while Jessica says that they are outgunned, but Darkseid is in the open. "Hit it, Dexstar!" Dexstar looks at the cubed eschaton, telling him, "Deal's a deal, like we promised. Sick him!" Down below, Darkseid begins to march forward, but he suddenly stops and begins to feel something. He asks, "What is that?" But when he realizes what it truly is, he quietly says, "Very clever." The eschaton lunges above Darkseid, screaming, "Death to Darkseid!" and it slams his head into the ground. Everyone cheers, watching the eschaton take on Darkseid, but Jessica tells everyone that they need one last thing to be taken care of. A few moments later in the chamber, the presently created Epoch comes in asking what is she doing, and she tells him that she's sorry, but she has to destroy the revision mechanism. Epoch asks, "What? Are you insane?" And she tells him that she is sane as hell. The mechanism is simply too dangerous. It can't be used by anyone, including you, Lord of Time. This all might fail because you're not a god, but Darkseid is. He can use that mechanism for his own nightmarish purposes. I now know what the fourth universe threat is. It is him, the one that you couldn't detect. Epoch yells that it is taking him an intricate lifetime to align the mechanism. Her ethical objections are noted, but she will not obstruct this endeavor. Good day to you. She steps forward, telling him that she was trying to be nice, but Epoch snaps his fingers, and Jessica disappears into a temporal mist. Epoch tells her that he said, "Good day. Now where was I?" A few seconds later, Jessica appears in the middle of a space bar with Gamma and several armed aliens all staring at her. Gamma blinks and stares, and one of the aliens asks if this is backup. "Who are you?" Jessica punches the alien, yelling, "Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern of Sector 2814, Justice League, now leave my friend alone." And as Jessica knocks the alien out, she asks, "Are you okay, Gamma?" But Gamma gets up asking her, "Who's Gamma?" Jessica says that she needs to be caught up on what's happening, but Epoch zapped her and now she's here. Is Darkseid done? Where is he? How long was she out? Gamma tells her that she does not have the answer to any of those questions. Just you say Darkseid? Jessica yells to stop joking around, but Gamma says that she's for real. Gamma is not her name. Her name is Susie Starr, Space Ranger. Jessica pauses for a moment as it all begins to sink in. Epoch zapped her. Where is she? When is she? Susie says that this is Lorelac Port World. Zynoc Quadrant. She's a lantern, right? Not to be rude, but didn't you all just get wiped out by one of your own? Parallax or something? Jessica stares and then states that Epoch threw her back in time to when there were no core and no chance of her finding any help. At that moment, there's a loud crash as a giant robot crashes through the walls, yelling, "Hold on, Ranger, I'm here, Oh." Susie tells the robot that it's okay, Mr. Tallbot, everything's cool. So let's take this from the top. So after a short while, over on the docking pad, Susie says that that's a big story, saved the universe big, and I was there? At the edge of the universe fighting Darkseid? And you called me Gamma Knife? And I was with this Epoch, Lord of Time dude, like, helping him? So we could all rewrite history. That doesn't sound like anything I do. Jessica says that Epoch built the revision mechanism to edit history and eradicate great universal threats, Darkseid most of all. Darkseid was trying to stop Epoch so that he could take the mechanism for himself and remake history to his own plan. The problem was that Epoch was also a threat. One slip, one miscalculation with the mechanism, and he could have destroyed everything forever. So she went to disable the machine, and that's when Epoch zapped her. She needs to get back there and stop Epoch, and Darkseid too, baby. Susie says that time travel is way out of her wheelhouse. She's done research on it, but she's just a ranger, the last space ranger, and she wants to do something. Something that matters. Something big. If she's the last space ranger, she's got to leave a legacy. Make the galaxy remember the space rangers. Great spirit rest to them all. Their ship is equipped with a time jump. She's read all the theories on it. Maybe she can pull it off. Right, Mr. Tallbot? Tallbot continues his repair, stating that executing a time jump in a burnt-out second-hand zip ship is suicide. Every part of his neurocortex tells him so. It also tells him, empathetically, that she's absolutely bug-smack stupid. Susie laughs, waving him off. What do you know? There's no way that this is just a coincidence. This is destiny. Why else would you have been thrown to this exact time? In the future, we're friends, right? So let's start right back to getting to the future. Once up in space, Susie says, "How are we looking?" Mr. Tallbot says that they're about to pass through the edge of the known universe, heading for an unfixed space-time location in a possible future. The ship will, of course, have disintegrated due to the stress fractures long before they get to their location, and they will be annihilated. Aside from that, everything is woohoo great. Susie nervously laughs. Don't mind Mr. Tallbot, he's basically a toaster oven with a personality software. As the ship picks up speed, it begins to vibrate, and Jessica asks if that's normal. And Susie tells her, yeah, all the time. She bangs the controls quietly, yelling, "Quit it!" And a few moments later, Mr. Tallbot says that they just passed through the time barrier, and well, they're here. Jessica asks already, and Mr. Tallbot says, that's time travel? Susie then tells Mr. Tallbot to get Jessica ready in the matter transporter, and Jessica asks why. Susie says the throttle's kind of stuck. They ain't stopping, but good news! They'll have a 2-second flyby window where they'll beam her into this reef place. Jessica tells her to wait, but Mr. Tallbot assists her, and Susie yells to get into the transmat. She has to stay at the helm and stick the landing, find some brakes, all that stuff! As Jessica begins to get into the capsule, she shouts to wait. Why doesn't she remember her in the future? And Susie says, how the hell should I know? I haven't been there. Now go, save the universe, do the big stuff, transmat on. Suddenly, Jessica is teleported out. Mr. Tallbot sits down stating that the drive is jammed. She pushed it too hard. They will overshoot the edge of the universe to the reef and Susie tells him, yeah, it's gonna suck, but we're gonna make it. You know why? Mr. Tallbot says, I do not know. In the future, you do not know Jessica Cruz. It may not be the same her because this her is going to die. As the light shines, Susie tells him, ha, we're gonna make it because I said so. You were a good pal. Sorry about the toaster oven comment. Mr. Tallbot sighs, stating, you're going to get me killed. Back in the present, the eschaton slams both fists into Darkseid. Time to die! Your end is now! As Darkseid's armor begins to crack, Cyborg flies in, trying to shoot the eschaton off. The eschaton leans back, swinging, knocking Cyborg off course, telling him, do not obstruct what is about to happen. Your master will perish. Back, para-angels. Back, new gods. None of you will prevent this. None of you! As the eschaton releases all of its energy along the sidelines, Gamma says, holy scutbags, that thing is powerful. Darkseid groans, telling it, I am Darkseid. I will persist. I will endure. I will not be ended by a wretch like you. You have taken me by surprise and done your best. Now I shall do the same. Darkseid focuses on releasing an Omega Beam blast into Eschaton. But the eschaton redirects the energy back, shouting, you will die! As the eschaton closes in on the final blow, Darkseid punches through Eschaton's chest, telling him, no, Darkseid is, forever and for always. As Darkseid incinerates the eschaton, he falls to his knees, panting. Blackfire tells everyone that they have to hurry before Darkseid recovers and slaughters them. Dexstar asks where they're going, and Blackfire tells them to the revision chamber. They have to execute Epoch's plan. As the group retreats, Gamma asks where is Hax. And back in the chamber, Hax walks into the current and presently created Epochs, stating that she would like to assist them. She is a technician, and little use in the front lines. However, she is quite adept with temporal mechanics. The presently created Epoch says that that is wonderful. And the current one says that he agrees with himself. She can begin by helping the presently created one configure the last spheres of the late 20th century. Back at the entrance, Cyborg rushes over, telling Darkseid that he must retreat. But he says it in words and not pings. Darkseid sits up, telling him, you speak words, not machine code. Why? And Cyborg tells him, I do not ping, no. As Darkseid stands up, he states that by destroying the eschaton, it sapped some of his power. His strength will return, but they are temporarily reduced. The control that he once exerted over him is now weaker. Will he exploit this chance? Will he revert to his former nature? Will he become Cyborg again? Cyborg tells him, I will not. When I was remade, your will was imprinted on the code. The grip may have loosened, but I remain loyal. Darkseid tells him, good. You are a good son. Lead my army and secure the revision mechanism. As Cyborg jets off, Darkseid calls out to the forces, telling them to listen to Cyborg's word as it is his own. Now complete the great work. And just as Cyborg approaches the chamber, Blackfire and Orion concentrate their attacks and they stop him mid-flight. Cyborg falls to the ground, but as he begins to get back up shielding himself, he finds that he is close enough and he sends all of his power into his arm, blasting Orion. Blackfire lunges in, stating that she knew Cruz was wrong. Cyborg is no friend, he has to die! She begins to punch him over and over, but once Cyborg is fully charged, he releases a concussion pulse, knocking Blackfire away. He waits to see if she gets back up, and a voice asks if they are next. And Jessica walks out, asking if he's going to go through her too. Cyborg scans her, stating that she was not here before. But all will fall. Darkseid is. Jessica says that she's gonna stop him if she has to. But she really doesn't think she has to. His control has lapsed, hasn't it? Cyborg steps forward. I am his son. But Jessica tells him, no, you're Victor Stone. You're in there, despite everything. You're in there. So is hope. Deny Darkseid, remember? You don't have to fight. Remember your human side. Cyborg begins to stutter. Jess? As Darkseid's hold fades, Jessica runs up crying, hugging Darkseid. And back inside of the chamber, Hax looks at the two epochs, asking if they really thought that they'd win. Hax shoots the presently created epoch in the head, and then the current one in the stomach, leaving giant holes in each. And a few seconds later, Gamma and Dexter rush in, asking what happened. What were those shots? Hax looks back, stating that she was merely continuing the work that she was doing all along. To be fair, she did try to stop when there seemed to be a chance, a glimmer of hope. She thought that maybe she could help break free and escape from, but no, that moment's gone. So for her own sake, she had to carry out her orders and make sure she is on the winning side. And for what it's worth, it was nice being a hero for a while. As a loud, booming sound begins to shake the chamber, Darkseid steps through the boom tube, telling Hax that her life will be spared, for she served him well. Gamma steps back from Hax. No way. Darkseid asks, "Did you think to betray me?" Hax tries to come up with an excuse, but then she sighs, telling him that she did consider it. She thought that there might be a chance to escape his service, but she realized that just isn't possible. She removed Epoch as a belated effort to redeem herself, but she will ultimately submit to his judgment. Darkseid extends his hand, telling her, "That doubt is a natural weakness. You were my thrall for a very long time. You saw a chance to free yourself and you took it, but you also recognized your error. It is good enough reason, pragmatic. I could respect someone who values a simple concept like survival. Your punishment is to serve me now, to help me set and activate the revision mechanism. Your punishment will be my forgiveness. Now let us begin." Meanwhile, Jessica leads the others back to the Time Plume, and Blackfire says that she still doesn't trust their new friend. Cyborg tells her not to worry, they will be safe. He'll tell the army to go anywhere but here. That will give them enough time to come up with a plan. And Jessica says that she actually already has a plan, and it involves using the crystal that they used to send that message earlier. Orion asks how is that going to help them, and Jessica explains that this crystal contains the entire chronological order of the Ghost Sector, including the moment the Source Wall collapsed, which was pretty much the last time their Justice League team was intact and not enslaved. Cyborg says that it's like a save point, and Jessica goes on telling them that that is exactly right. With Cyborg's mother box, they should be able to get reinforcements for their final play. They can bring them back. Blackfire asks to bring them back from the dead, and Jessica says no, from the past. Back in the chamber, Darkseid begins to reconfigure the revision mechanism to allow the placement of Apocalypse in the sphere of gods outside of corporeal reality. Once there, he will be able to expand the apocalyptian culture and technology across every system in the multiversal structure. Hax watches, asking if all the worlds will then be refashioned in the likeness of Apocalypse as slaves to the throne world. And Gamma yells, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be one of the good guys, now you're helping him?" Hax tells her that she is, and says that it would be wise if they all assisted him in this. Gamma then asks why would she do that, and Darkseid tells her, "Because if you refuse, you will simply die, for you are already dead." Gamma scoffs, stating that is some scary stuff. Wait, what? Darkseid goes on stating, "It is all here. You, the Space Ranger, Susie Starr, enlisted Jessica Cruz, and you died in the time jump." Hax then explains that Epoch found her and retrieved her. He wanted a companion and a helper for his work. Epoch rebuilt her using the Reef's temporal fields. He salvaged Mr. Tailbot and turned him into those drones. He also wiped her recent memory to spare her the trauma of death. She is a ghost, sustained only by local continuity. When time is rewritten, she will simply vanish, as though she had never been. Darkseid tells her, "It is a sorry fate, but in return for your assistance, I could reweave your lost time thread back into the pattern of reality. You would live and be a part of this future." Gamma looks back at Dexter, asking, "What should I do?" And he tells her, "Dying is not an appealing prospect." Hax then asks her to help them. "Please." Gamma sighs, asking, "What do you want me to do?" Back in the Time Plume, Orion says that he has isolated the specific moment, and Blackfire says that the plume is now stabilized. It is a fraction of what the mechanism's power is, but it will serve their purpose. But will they remember? Jessica says that that's the idea. They need them to be aware of the situation from the moment they arrive. Right, Vic? Cyborg says that they're talking about locality transposition, a pulse of implicit time from the Reef's storage batteries to splice one stream into another. This kind of temporal transaction was beyond even Darkseid's ability. That's why they needed Epoch's unique time devices. It's relatively simple if you have the right tech. Cyborg then hits the button to activate the plume, and there is a sudden boom as a portal opens up. The past Starfire, Cyborg, and Azrael all stumble out, and the past Cyborg asks, "All right, what is going on?" Jessica tells them hi. Now this is going to take a moment to explain. As the memories of the current counterparts pour into the past, Azrael asks, "What did I become?" The past Cyborg states that there is no way that he would have become whatever that is. And the current one tells him, "There is no way that you wouldn't. You are still adjusting to the new memories. You'll understand soon enough." Starfire then says that they were on a Brainiac skull ship and then here. Oh, Zal, the pain, the things that she has done. She was a monster. Blackfire cries that she is whole again. She has been saved. She had to kill that monster so that this could happen. She would expect the same. Starfire pulls her arm from Blackfire's grip, telling her that she would not kill her own sister. Blackfire begs for her to listen, but then Jessica Cruz asks, "This was your idea?" Just then, there's another thundering explosion that shakes the core of the Reef as Darkseid brings Apocalypse back into existence. Blackfire asks what on Zal was that, and the present Cyborg states that they are just experiencing a temporal shockwave. Sepulchre is vanishing, being erased from reality, and according to these readings, the Ghost Sector worlds are all being restored to their original locations. The past Jessica says, "That's good, right?" And the current one says, "No, that's bad." That means that Darkseid has already activated the revision mechanism and has already begun to edit the universe. We need to destroy the mechanism. Deny Darkseid or die trying. So a few moments later in the chamber, Darkseid guards Hax and Gamma stating that they will not get past. "You will not stop me. You are already too late." As Jessica and her team clash with Darkseid, Gamma looks back yelling, "Holy mean beams! I gotta help!" Hax tells her no, they have to finish this, and Gamma says that this might be their only chance, and Hax says that's exactly why. If they fight with the others, they will die with the others. But if they finish Darkseid's work on the mechanism, and she means finish it now, while he's occupied, Gamma looks at one of the crystals and says, "Oh." Jessica looks back at Blackfire, focusing on the mechanism, but Darkseid grabs Starfire and throws her, stating that she will not. Azrael Slash is stating that they won't be able to keep this up. He's too powerful, but present Cyborg states that Darkseid is only working with a fraction of his strength. Darkseid grabs Cyborg by the head, asking, "You doubt my strength!" And after focusing his energy, Cyborg begins to shout, "Ping, ping, ping!" and turns his guns towards the others. The past Cyborg flies in, stating, "Oh no, this one is mine," and he punches the present Cyborg in the stomach. As the para-angels begin flooding in, the current Jessica sees her past self badly injured, and as she goes to help, the past version says not to worry about her. "Go finish this!" Jessica rushes back into battle against Darkseid, but he blasts her into the ground, asking, "Do you not remember what happened last time?" Just as Darkseid and his forces begin to overwhelm the team, Hax says that they are ready to trigger the temporal cascade. Hax then looks at Gamma, telling her that she's sorry, and Gamma tells her it's okay. She wanted to be a hero. Do something big, even if that means the worst. Hax turns to Dexter. "Are you ready?" And he licks himself, stating, "You are a traitor to the end. That's what I like about you." Dexter looks down at one of the crystals on the desk, and then he knocks it over, shattering it. Hax shouts to Gamma to break it. "Smash the mechanism!" And Gamma begins to swing her sword as Darkseid looks back, shouting, "No! What are you doing?" Hax tells her that she is defying him, and Gamma yells, "Yeah, suck it, you great big!" But before she could finish, her body begins to fade out of existence. Hax calls out to her, but Dexter says, "She's already gone. She never was. Not really. Right now, though, the time fields are buckling. We must prepare for..." But before he could finish, the revision mechanism explodes. Darkseid looks at Jessica, telling her that the implicit time spilled here is about to implode. "You have beaten me." Jessica yells that she said that she would. "If it was the last thing," and Darkseid stops her. "It will be your last thing. I will retreat to Apocalypse. You can only remain here and perish." As Darkseid boom tubes out, the past Cyborg drags his current self over, stating, "They're all gone. They know this place is finished. And Jessica asks if this implosion is going to destroy reality. And Cyborg says no, they are beyond the lip of the universe. It'll be a local detonation, but not small. With them being outside the material universe, he has no navigational data to boom tube them back out. And the present Cyborg begins to stand up stating, I do. I retained my new god, extra universal mapping. I can get you out, but I'll have to remain here to do it. All I would need is a power source to amplify it. The past Jessica wobbles forward, stating that she can provide it. Not like she's going to be walking away from this. Starfire yells that they will not. Either they all get out of here or... But the past Jessica begins to transfer her energy to the current Cyborg, stating that it's an executive decision. Here's your power, Vic. Do it. The boom tube opens up around everyone, and Starfire reaches out, yelling for them not to. And just as quickly as it came, the portal closes. Jessica laughs, telling them that that was quite a ride, huh? And Cyborg says that it was a hell of a thing. But just outside, the reef explodes in a blinding white light, with Jessica shielding everyone from the shockwave. But as the blast passes, Azrael says, okay, now what? Jessica says that she's open to ideas. The last spark that she has left is barely enough to sustain an atmosphere here, so they better think of something quick. Cyborg says that he can boom tube them off the rock, just need to know where everyone's going. And as everyone says their goodbyes, Cyborg opens up a portal for everyone to leave. Jessica Cruz headed back to Oa. Orion brought Azrael, Dexter, and Hax to Thanagar to prepare for the next war. And Cyborg and Starfire get ready to head back to the Hall of Justice. But as they step through, their looks dramatically change. And the post-apocalyptic Starfire and Cyborg look at the destroyed world, and Cyborg asks, okay, what did we miss? And we have now concluded Justice League Odyssey. Thank you everyone who has joined us for this every Sunday ride since we started it. I can already tell you what happened at the ending. The epilogue actually moves into one of the death metal storylines. If you remember, during a Teen Titans Nightwing kind of thing, I think it was the Justice League death metal book, Starfire and Cyborg show up. This is where they landed. Jessica, I think, is kind of off the radar now. And the Orion, Azrael, Thanagar war, I don't know if I missed that or if that's coming up later, but that definitely was not something I was tracking. I hope you guys enjoyed this storyline overall, and I just want to take a moment to thank you guys for sticking out every Sunday for these videos. Coming up next is a couple of things that might be happening. Depending how our schedule flows, next Sunday is either going to be the conclusion to 10 of Swords, so it'll be a big video like this one, or it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 6, the Donny Cates run. And then once we finish up 10 of Swords and Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going to be bringing you guys Dead Man Logan. Now, if you want to have a vote on what's going to be happening next here on the channel and on the podcast, please consider going to our new Patreon. We've done a complete revamp to the Comicstorian Patreon, and the $10 tier now gives you the ability to vote and discuss 2 of the videos every month that we put out here. So indie books, other publishers, obscure old books. Now you guys have a say in what's happening here on the channel. I wanted to give you guys that opportunity. Patreon's how we're bringing it to you. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Next week, I'll see you for 10 of Swords or Guardians of the Galaxy. Depends on the schedule flows. Either way, guys, thank you.